Nothing is black or white. No one is born hating another person because of the color of their skin, or his background, or his religion. If they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in front of you. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity. It is an act of justice. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. Sometimes it falls on a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. Let your greatness blossom. Where you stand depends on where you sit. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of Palestinians. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. But when you add that illiterate tongue or pen, then you have something very special. It always seems impossible until it is done. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. One of the things I learned when I was negotiating was that until I changed myself, I could not change others. Appearances matter, and remember to smile. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is inspiring others to move beyond it. Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening. You will achieve more in this world through acts of mercy than you will through acts of retribution. One cannot be prepared for something while secretly believing it will not happen. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that generation. Without language, one cannot talk to people and understand them. One cannot share their hopes and aspirations, grasp their history, appreciate their poetry, or savor their songs. There is a universal respect and even admiration for those who are humble and simple by nature, and who have absolute confidence in all human beings irrespective of their social status. We must use time creatively and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. Tread softly, breathe peacefully, laugh hysterically. The brave man is not the one who has no fears. He is the one who triumphs over his fears. When the water starts boiling, it is foolish to turn off the heat. Once a person is determined to help themselves, there is nothing that can stop them. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that the child of a farm worker can become the president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. I never lose. I either win or learn. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. There are few misfortunes in this world that you cannot turn into a personal triumph, if you have the iron will and the necessary skill. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. Your victory has demonstrated that no person anywhere in the world should not dare to dream of wanting to change the world for a better place. For a revolution is not just a question of pulling the trigger. Its purpose is to create a fair, just society. We forgive, but not forgotten. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. Fools multiply when wise men are silent. Democracy meant all men were to be heard, and a decision was taken together as a people. Majority rule was a foreign notion. A minority was not to be crushed by a majority. If you talk to a man in a second language, you're talking to his brain. If you talk to him in his mother language, you're talking to his heart. Without language, one cannot talk to people and understand them. One cannot share their hopes and aspirations, grasp their history, appreciate their poetry, or savor their songs. I again realized that we're not different people with separate languages. We were one people with different tongues. To make peace with an enemy, one must work with that enemy, and that enemy becomes one's partner. Violence was the only weapon that would destroy apartheid. Men have different capacities and react differently to stress, but the stronger ones raised up the weaker ones, and both became stronger in the process. Prison is designed to break one's spirit and destroy one's resolve. To do this, the authorities attempt to exploit every weakness, demolish every initiative, negate all signs of individuality, all with the idea of stamping out that spark that makes each of us human, and each of us who we are. Don't judge a person by his success stories, but only with how many times the person stood up after falling down.